Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to True Legend of Death Metal Possessed. The band that probably has the coolest logo, or at least one of the coolest logos in metal history ever, and the band that more or less started the whole death metal genre. So Possessed was away for many years, but their first two albums, especially the debut album Seven Churches, is a real classic in its genre. Now this is a band of tragedy, this is a band of many changes, this is a band that has gone through a lot of lineup changes and whatnot. So there's a lot of pressure for this new album that just came out like a week ago. What we have here for review, Revelations of Oblivion. But the big thing obviously is, or the big question rather, is it worth the wait? Now I don't want to keep you waiting for too long for this kind of answer. I'll just say bluntly, yes. Revelation of Oblivion, which I have here, which is something that I've been eyeballing, in case you're wondering. The bigger image is on the background. This is a real cool album. Obviously, different people have different expectations when there's a band that has been there since like 1983, gone through this lineup changes, has kind of a split up or whatever during the years. So it's not easy to come back for those expectations because so many things have changed. And to some people, Seven Churches is such a classic that you cannot just simply reach that level anymore. Well, I tend to disagree with that bit a bit. I mean, the thing here is, Seven Churches is a classic album for its kind of obvious reasons, being the kind of a first death metal album, or one of the first anyway, and being this kind of a hybrid with thrash and death metal, like it used to be back in the 80s. Now, remember, kids who are younger, death metal just didn't come out as pure death metal. It was all kind of a hybrid, especially if you take a look at bands like Death, or Possessed, or even Morbid Angel. There were lots of thrash elements. Some bands became kind of with grindcore and whatnot. So the thing here is, there was no pure death metal just born like that. It came through this evolution, and Possessed is one of the bands that made it possible. So that's enough about Possessed brief history, so to speak, and the time is to talk about this album called Revelations of Oblivion. Like I have unboxed this already for convenience. What we have here is this kind of a slipcase thing showing the current lineup, and now we need to address the lineup thing in a split second. But here's the really nice looking cover, except by my greasy fingerprints over here. As you can see, one of the coolest logo ever, and I kid you not, I just love it. It's just brilliant and beautiful in design. What we have here inside is obviously the booklet. We have the CD, which just came from review from Nuclear Blast. Thank you for them being kind with Rauta once again. So basically, track list is right there, and this is kind of an old school release in that way that there is this track list on the CD as well. No weird logos and whatnot. And the booklet is, well, it's quite thin. This is no booklet of mysteries. It's just about getting the lyrics right here in multiple pages. As you can see, it's rather small font. The thing here is, this album is almost an hour long, which is, I guess, maybe a little bit too lengthy for many people, considering that this is kind of a death thrash hybrid. This is not your funeral doom album, in which case I guess it would be more like a rule of thumb, make a big and lengthy album rather than short and sweet. So compared to previous two Possessed albums, this is like a mammoth, a Goliath of sorts. But does it justify its length? Yes, it does. Once again, it's all about making good songs with good production, good vocals, and all that stuff. Now I wanted to mention the lineup thing. The thing here is, as most people know, but not maybe everybody is aware that only the original vocalist is there with Possessed. This has been gone through with various interviews and whatever, that, life got into the way of some people. Some got married and kids, and some just wanted to play some other bands and whatever. So Possessed kind of was left hanging in thin air with kind of like noose around its neck. But luckily for us, Jeff Becerra, I'm not actually sure how it's pronounced, but anyway, he decided not to quit, but rather he kind of got the band back again on its feet with different guys. And they played live shows and things getting progressing. I actually saw Possessed in Wacken. I think it was 2007, but don't take my word for truth. I don't remember exactly which year it was, but around 2007, 2008, something in the direction. And Possessed was very energetic live, but still it took more than like a decade to get this album ready. So obviously, building these kind of expectations is kind of hard thing for any band because it's not so easy to, get things going when you have these expectations and, like different lineup and all that stuff. Now, all the other members except the vocalist are from 2007 or later, mostly even later. So this is very, very new lineup, but they have done wonderful job. I mean, previous guys from Sadistic Intent did wonderful job when playing live and all that stuff, but the current lineup is all that matters when creating an album, right? And luckily they have managed to capture the right Possessed feeling. I was actually giving Seven Churches kind of like a fresh listen after I gave this one a few spins and did a written review, and to my ears this is very much kind of a continuation to the first two albums, kind of picking up where the band left off back in the 80s. So to me, Revelations of Oblivion is just powerful, energetic piece of death trash, but mostly on death side, but still having those trash elements and delivering blow after blow after blow in your face. Like I said, it's almost 60 minutes long and it's kind of too much, but then again, it's like eating at the buffet. Once you're like, okay, I'm stuffed, I don't need to eat anymore, but maybe I should still, pick something for my plate just because it's so good. So actually, Revelations does quite a good job, delivering and stuffing inside, those trashy death things. Now, production is modern, but at the same time, it's also kind of not retro, but kind of old-fashioned. And there are these rototoms, the kind of these smaller tone drums which are giving this really high impact noise, and it just brings the feeling of old Possessed very much there. Vocals are very much what to expect. They are still very Becerra like. I love them and they are just like they should be, and basically everything from guitars to other instruments, it's just like, wow, Possessed is here in 2019 but still kind of giving this 1980s vibe. So I don't know what to say except that I'm happy about this release. I think it's very, very, very much alive. It kind of proves that there is hope for older bands. It doesn't matter if you have been gone for 30 years. You can still make a comeback with full force and show that, younger bands or other old bands that you can still do it. I mean, as much as I like old Metallica, I wish they never went to this newer direction. And so it's kind of ironic that band that has been gone for so many years, they are still sounding much like the 80s, unlike these very big bands, Metallica or Iron Maiden or whoever. I mean, this is just good comeback album. I totally feel like people are giving this a chance. I truly hope they are giving this one a chance. Of course, for modern Black Death people who are, born, I don't know, late 80s or early 90s or whatever, they might feel like Possessed is just too grandpa-like for them because they never got into this kind of music, when they were born or young or whatever, because it was already way too old or late for them. But I mean, people should be giving chance to Possessed once again. It's great band and it has made a good comeback album, so nothing to complain really. Get this album and I hope you won't be disappointed. Thank you for watching and see you soon with more Rauta reviews.